and on demand from the WNY News Now studios in downtown Jamestown. This is WNY News Now.
And thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould.
And I'm Matt Hummel. Happening now, a Pennsylvania man is charged after allegedly driving on the wrong side of the road on Baker Street last night. Details coming up.
Plus, New York State's first vaping death has been reported. But first, Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter, he's standing by with a look at our weather. Hey, Dakota.
Hey, Justin and Matt, and happy Wednesday, everybody. We're halfway through the week, and I am not seeing my graphics up on the wall, so I will step off and step back on. But that's a live look from the Mill Creek Mall, and you can see traffic flowing nicely over Peach Street. There we go. There I am. And the temperature right now is 62 degrees, and we're going to continue to warm up today. It's going to be almost a rinse and repeat like we had yesterday. No clouds across the area. It's been full sunshine, and that will continue throughout the day. Here it is hour by hour. Lots of sunshine through the afternoon. It's almost a rinse and repeat of yesterday. We should do at least 1 or 2 degrees warmer than our high temp yesterday, but lots of sun to go around. But we'll talk about the next rain that comes over the weekend in just a few minutes. Back to you.
Alrighty, Dakota, thank you. Our top story, a Pennsylvania man is charged with driving while mobility impaired by drugs after allegedly driving on the wrong side of the road last night. Jamestown police say that 34-year-old Alman Lee Onsky was spotted by officers driving on the wrong side of the street on Baker Street before making a wide right-hand turn onto Halleck Street just after 7:30 p.m. Police say they were able to stop his vehicle and interview him. Officers say that Maloney told them that his house in Waterford, Pennsylvania, that he left there at 3 p.m. and was going to the Lakewood Walmart. While speaking with the man, officers determined he was allegedly driving while mobility impaired. Police said he failed field sobriety tests and was arrested for driving while mobility impaired by drugs and several other traffic violations as well.
New York's governor says the state has seen its first reported death linked to vaping. Democratic Governor Andrew Cuomo says that the October 4th death of a 17-year-old male from the Bronx was reported Tuesday to the State Department of Health. Cuomo says the teenager was hospitalized in early September for a respiratory illness related to vaping. The governor's administration reports it's received 110 reports from New York physicians of severe pulmonary illness among patients between the ages of 14 to 69 years who were using at least one vape product prior to becoming ill.
We had the first vaping death in the state of New York. A 17-year-old resident of the Bronx. This vaping is a public health crisis. It is affecting our young people. It has been marketed to young people. The federal government should act. The president had talked about taking action. I don't know how many people have to die before he takes action, but the state is already taking aggressive action.
Now, the vaping industry successfully sued to temporarily block the Cuomo administration's recent ban on flavored e-cigarettes. Federal officials say at least 18 people have died and over 1,000 people have been sickened with vaping-related illnesses.
Well, Chautauqua County Executive George Borrello announced today that he and key project partners will be discussing the final results of the New York Gateway Center project at Ripley Market study and concept plan on Friday, October 18th at 11:30 at Medler's Restaurant there in Ripley. The study was to investigate the viability of creating a gateway center at the Shortman Road exit off of the Interstate 90. Now, the study investigated the types of services to be offered and the scale of those offerings, which led to the development of a conceptual plan and the approximate costs associated with constructing a facility like that. The study was an effort between Borrello's office and the County Division of Economic Development, the CCIDA, Town of Ripley, and the county's Visitors Bureau and other key stakeholders in the project. Now, Borrello, Ripley Town Supervisor Doug Bowen, and the CCIDA CEO Mark Geis will be in attendance at the meeting, along with representatives from Clark Patterson Lee, who conducted the study.
Baseball fanatics throughout the city of Jamestown already know that summer of 2020 would be the start of a new era of baseball. But until this morning, not many were aware of just how new. Jamestown Jammers general manager Frank Fanning announced that the Jammers will be renamed for the 2020 season, and they're asking for the public's help by submitting their ideas. Russell Dietrich Jr., Jamestown Community Baseball LLC board member Greg Peterson, and Jammers employee Scott James joined Fanning outside Russell E. Dietrich Park this morning. Fanning says that the fresh start will be significant for Jamestown baseball.
Greg said something early on at one of our board meetings that one of our goals is to maintain and sustain this team here. You don't get the chance sometimes for fresh starts. We are very fortunate in this community that we are getting a fresh start for a baseball team. And it is really important, I think, when you have this opportunity to recapture a fan base. Maybe there's just 1 year. It's like, almost like the music business where you can be in a band for so long, and then the moment you stop playing, there's 1,000 other bands that take your place.
A full article can be found on WNYNewsNow.com right now for more information on to where to submit those ideas.
Well, happy Wednesday to all of you. Thanks so much for joining us here on WNY News Now. Matt Hummel and Justin Gould hanging out with you. And that's a really great initiative there by currently the Jammers. Who knows what it will be in the future. But it's cool to see that they're gauging public input and that they're taking ideas. So at this point, Matt, can we just submit any name that we think might work?
Absolutely. I mean, they're going to look at ones that are appropriate, of course, for stuff. But just, as long as it's appropriate, submit it. You have until October 23rd, which you can find that on our website more. But, what was funny, and I had actually a couple of follow-up phone calls with Frank Fanning this morning. And in one of them, I said, I knew something interesting was going to happen when the crew came out and had hats with question marks on them.
Always interesting. Yeah,
I'm like, okay, this is going to be something. I mean, it makes sense now, but I'm interested to see. They say in November is when they're going to know. And have at least a team name. It might take a little bit longer to get the logo because there's a lot of art ideas involved in that. But certainly something nevertheless to see, and we should be getting more information, Justin, in a few weeks.
Absolutely. Well, great reporting there. Let's check in with the comments. Joanna says that she's pretty happy to see that the Jammers are reaching out to the public for the name. And Renee says she likes the Jammers name. So it'll be interesting to see, nevertheless, if people put Jamestown Jammers on there, and maybe they'd keep the name. Maybe they'd change. It looks like they want to change it. Hello to Scott. Mike. Pam has joined us as well. Priscilla, good afternoon to you, and good afternoon to Cindy, and good afternoon to the Jesters Promoting Company as well, as he's letting us all know about a little bit of Spotlight that he'll be hosting coming up this week. Coming up here on the broadcast, a lot more to tell you about how New York State Governor is facing calls for action as prescription drug costs continue to rise.
But first, the Save a Life Tour visits Panama Central School. Dakota.
I have a great name for the team, News Now Cam. How about that? Blue sky downtown, 57, variable wind to 6, and look at that air pressure, way above 30 inches. High pressure is in control of our weather, and that will continue for the next couple of days. We'll talk about it next as WNY News Now continues in a minute, so don't go away.
Live and on demand, you're watching WNY News Now.
I've walked my talk. I've brought officials to meet the community. It should be a government by the people, for the people. I've stood alone to represent the citizens of the city for transparency, accountability, and fiscal responsibility. My values haven't changed. I stand for you. Vote November 5th. Liuzzo for mayor.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Pronto Mart, not your average corner store. Located on the corner of Forest and Newland Avenues in Jamestown, Pronto Mart has everything you've been looking for. An amazing selection of not your average corner store. Stop in and visit us today.
Hi, my name's Dave Wilfong, and I'm running for mayor. Behind me is another dilapidated dilapidated. We've got to do to not create livable space for the citizens of Jamestown. These condemned houses in our neighborhoods, they bring values down, they bring crime, and they bring drugs to our community. We've got to stop that, and in the Wilfong administration, that'll be one of my top priorities. My name's Dave Wilfong, and I'm running for mayor of the city of Jamestown. Please vote for me, November 5th.
And welcome back. The International Save a Life Tour visited Panama Central School today to teach students the importance of driving sober and distraction-free. The program aims to inform and educate and demonstrate the potentially deadly consequences of driving while mobility impaired, something that Chautauqua County Sheriff's Deputy Tim Riley says he sees all too often.
Consequences financially, consequences just being dangerous, you know. I don't think kids have the experience driving to begin with, and then to throw in, you know, distractions like alcohol and cell phones and things like that obviously becomes way more dangerous. So.
Students started the morning with a video and speech presentation. They then got a chance to get behind the wheel, not of a real car, but rather a simulator.
It was really weird, and it was really difficult to turn and then try to turn back. It was hard. It's messing with your brain, and overturning caused you to overturn again, and then it just caused you to swerve and hit other people and other objects in the way.
In the simulation, they had to maintain their speed, watch out for pedestrians, and follow the rules of the road. This simulator, however, had a delayed reaction to fully simulate what it's like to drive while. Kylie Schnars, a senior at the school, said as a young driver herself, she takes steps to focus on the road and only the road.
You know, I like to make sure that I get my messages sent before, and then I just don't stay on my phone the rest of the way until I get to where I'm going, because I don't want to be that person that causes a problem and hurts another family, or I have to live with something the rest of my life because I made a stupid decision.
She said it's tough to maintain the discipline to stay off her cell phone, but it's something that has to be done. Summer Dracup says being from a small community helps keep her group of friends in check.
It's such a small school and such a close community that I think we all know we have to protect each other, and we have to make sure that we are stable and able to drive.
Now, the trio are members of Panama Central School's SAD, Student Against Destructive Decisions Club. Helen Keefe, an English teacher and the SAD advisor, says talking with them about driving while mobility impaired and sharing stories always helps, but the hands-on experience of the simulators really connect.
They're more impactful, I should say. And a lot of the kids going through the simulations today are driving. They're either new drivers or they think they've got their driving under control, but this is really a wake-up call, and hopefully it's a wake-up call here and not in a more tragic situation.
Now, Keefe says her SAD group works all year long to not only prevent impaired driving, but also to educate the impacts of bullying and vaping.
New York's Democratic governor is facing calls for action as prescription drug costs rise. AARP is pushing across the country for reform, and it announced yesterday that its new analysis of federal survey data shows that 1 in 5 New York adult residents stopped taking medication as prescribed, largely because of rising costs. Cuomo's office says it's still working on the budget due next year. The governor says he'll do everything he can to reel in the high drug cost. The National Advocacy Group's New York organization supports a package of Albany legislation that, among other things, would allow the safe importation of prescription drugs at lower prices than New Yorkers now pay.
And talks between General Motors and the United Auto Workers Union hit a snag yesterday over what the union says is a lack of commitment by GM to build new vehicles in U.S. factories. In a letter to members, Union Vice President Terry Diddes wrote that the union has told GM it doesn't see a commitment from the company to a workforce that has helped make it billions of dollars. As of last night, General Motors hasn't commented on the situation. Although both sides were still talking, the union demand could be a major sticking point because GM produces pickup trucks and several SUVs in Canada, Mexico, China, South Korea, and other countries, and imports them to the United States. Strikers, meanwhile, are out in their fourth week without earning a full paycheck from General Motors of around $1,200 per week before deductions. Instead, they have to live on $250 per week in union strike pay.
Too much exercise could keep you from making good choices. That's according to a new study that says overworking your body might interfere with your ability to delay self-gratification. You'll have to really overdo it, but the brain can only handle so much. Andy Rhodes has more in today's Health Minute.
The brain's capacity for exertion is limited. Simply put, over-exercising the body could lead to brain burnout. That's according to a study in the journal Current Biology. A group of elite endurance athletes was asked to overtrain for 3 out of 9 weeks. Researchers then compared them to a group who had been training normally. The overworked athletes didn't do as well as their counterparts on a cycling test, and MRI scans showed more fatigue in the cognitive control part of the brain. The findings show a link between overexertion and the inability to resist the temptation of immediate gratification. Athletes were asked if they'd prefer $10 now or $50 in 6 months. Those who overtrained were more likely to take the $10 now. But experts point out the study only looks at endurance athletes, not regular people. Prior research shows about 4 to 5 hours of exercise each week can have positive effects on cognitive function, meaning the average Joe shouldn't worry about brain burnout. For today's Health Minute, I'm Andy Rose.
Alrighty, Andy, thank you very much for your report. And seriously, Justin, I haven't thought about that before.
Yeah, certainly. I suppose if you've worked really hard, you want some sort of reinforcement right away, and that might be saying, hey, let's go get ice cream, or in the case of the study, the $10 versus $50 thing. So interesting to see. And I suppose everything is good in moderation, including working out. So cool. Nevertheless, thanks, Andy, for that. David, hello to you. Andrew, good to see you. Hopefully you all are doing well. Renee, Lori, Wendy, Jesse is here. Yeah, I think a lot of people, unfortunately, working out outside, Matt, probably isn't going to happen for a while, unless you get your morning run in and you like it nice and cold, nice and cool. But I know it seems like fall is here and in full effect. Coming up next, Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter. He joins us live with a look at our weather.
And later on, details on a benefit that the Robert H. Jackson Center will be hosting this month as News Now continues.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Hi, my name's Dave Wolfong. That are behind told. The response was, we didn't know that they were leaving the city of Jamestown. NACO Trucking went to the Chautauqua County Industrial Agency, went and got financing. They got plans for a new building. We've got to stop businesses from leaving this individual to move his business too. That's why people are moving out of the city of Jamestown. In my administration, we're going to be business first, and we're going to know what's going on in the city of Jamestown. Once again, my name's Dave Wolfong, and I'm running for mayor, city of Jamestown. Please vote for me November 5th.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
First Defense Weather, the Southern Tier's only live and local weather source. Now, here's Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter.
And welcome back. And wanted to start off with a new graphic that we created to talk about fog, because the last couple of nights we've had fog. So exactly how does fog form? Well, it's actually what happens. We have cool air on the highest hills. I often talk about this, how it's usually cooler up on the hills because of the higher elevations. At night, because we have longer nights now all the way until the winter solstice, what happens is this cool air gets dumped down into the valleys. And what happens is the air temperature and the dew point temperature actually get close together, or they become equal, and then you get fog that forms mainly down in the valley areas. And then of course in the morning, as the sun happens, as the sunrise comes up, the fog burns off. In terms of fog, all the fog is burned off that we had this morning. There's still a little bit of fog down here in PA and of course up here in Canada, but across western New York the fog is all burned off, so it's going to be a sunny afternoon today. The high yesterday was 63, and of course we were at a pair of fours of course last night. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't hit this again, or maybe even be a couple degrees above it today. And with the lots of sunshine we have in the air, these were the highs regionally yesterday: 60 in Olean, 67 Dunkirk, and 69 over in Erie, close to 70 over there. And again, this is typical fall time air, and the pattern is not changing over the next couple of days. Weather headlines, they're pretty simple. It's Command C, Command V type of weather. That's if you're a Mac person. That's of course, that's the copy paste command. If it's Windows, it's Control C, Control V. There you go. Cool, foggy mornings for the next couple of days, fair and seasonable afternoons, but the weekend does get a little bit dicey as we have a storm system passing to our west. We'll show it to you on the satellite and radar composite. High pressure still in control across the northeast, so that means no rain. Obviously, when you have high pressure, it's sinking air. Look at this, it's snowing out here in, of course, Montana. This is ultimately going to be moving in the upper Midwest region, and there's currently winter storm warnings and watches out here. This is all going to be moving eastward, but the good news is this will not, we will get impacted, but it's not going to be snow. I'll show it to you here on FutureScan. This is one of the long-range computer models. This is going to be a blizzard up here for the Midwest region, possibly over the weekend. But look at what happens. We're going to be on the warm side of this storm system. As this low tracks into Canada, we're going to be on the warm side of this. So rain showers throughout the day. On Saturday, the rain showers taper off into Sunday as the low actually moves into Canada. So we won't have snow, but we will have rain. We'll be actually impacted by that system that's passing well to our west. Zone forecast here, temperatures mid to upper 60s. It's rinse and repeat weather. If you liked yesterday, you'll love today. We've got more of it on the way. Lake Erie shoreline here, upper 60s here. Lots of sunshine through the afternoon for you and yours. The next 7 days of your wonderful life are on the screen. Again, valley fog early each and every morning until Friday. Maybe a few more clouds on Friday, but we'll still call Friday mostly sunny. There's that storm system on Saturday, 60. Sunshine for everyone Sunday and Monday, and we begin the chance for a few more rain showers next Tuesday. Sports is next. Don't go away.
Watching News Now. WNY Sports Now is powered by Phone Zone of Jamestown. With the largest inventory around, we buy and sell our own merchandise at a price that can't be beat. Have a broken screen? We'll fix it. Learn more at phonezoneshop.com.
Happy Hump Day, sports fans, and welcome back to WNY News Now. I'm Norm Rodriguez with a look at sports. This afternoon, the JCC Jayhawks men's and women's soccer teams will be on the road for non-conference games against Erie Community College, with the women's game at 2 o'clock and the men's at 4 o'clock. The men's team is currently 8-4-2 this season, winning their last game 2-1 versus Fulton Montgomery Community College last Saturday. Meanwhile, the Lady Jayhawks are 1-12, losing their last game 9-0 against Genesee Community College last Wednesday. Tonight, 2 deciding games will determine what 2 teams move on to the NLCS and the other 2 who will go home. The first game will have a 5:02 first pitch, with the Atlanta Braves hosting the St. Louis Cardinals in the deciding Game 5 of the National League Divisional Series. Mike Fultonevich will get the starting call as the Braves pitcher, as he will go against St. Louis's Jack Flaherty. Game 2 will start at 8:37, where the Washington Nationals will be on the road to take on the back-to-back National League pennant-winning Los Angeles Dodgers in Game 5 of the other NLDS. Walker Buehler is tabbed as LA's starting pitcher as he will be against Steven Strasburg for the Nationals. The winners of these games will take on each other in a best-of-7 series in the NLCS. Both games will be televised on TBS. In NBA preseason action, 4 games will be in play tonight. The first game in play will be a 7 o'clock tip-off with the Detroit Pistons hosting the Dallas Mavericks. 2 games will start at 7:30. The first one is the Orlando Magic going on the road versus the Atlanta Hawks, and the other being the Charlotte Hornets hosting the Miami Heat. The final game tonight will begin at 8 o'clock with the Chicago Bulls hosting the New Orleans Pelicans. All the games can be watched on the NBA app. That's it for sports today. Justin and Matt, back to you.
Alrighty, Norm, thank you very much. Well, the Robert H. Jackson Center will host its second annual A Perfect Pairing benefit to support the center's upcoming educational programs. The event will take place on Saturday, October 26th at 5 p.m. at the center. Officials say the evening will feature a 4-course autumnal meal created by Marlene Lucas to complement the wine carefully selected for each course. The wine pairings will be provided and explained by Samuel Whitmore, a certified sommelier and owner of Bag and String Wine Merchants in Lakewood. The full menu is available on the Jackson Center's website event page, and raffle tickets will be available for purchase at the event, with the winners announced by the end of the evening. Admission is $50 per person, and guys, information on how to register can be found right now on the WNYNewsNow.com.
I like a Bag and String wine. They have some pretty good selections of wine there in Lakewood. So, really cool event. Thank you for sharing it with
Absolutely.
us. If you can't get a chance, get out to that. Dakota is back with a look at our weather. And really, this week, sunshine-wise, is pretty perfect, minus Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a lot of sunshine, and that will continue over the next couple of days. Here's another new graphic that we just created. School day forecast for tomorrow. We're going to have another day of this. Sunshine, 68 degrees, no chance of rain. Now, we do bring a few clouds in possibly on Friday, but we're still calling Friday mostly sunny. And again, we will be impacted by a storm system pulling up into the Midwest, but we'll be on the warm side of it on Saturday, which means rain showers through the day, not snow. Yes, sir.
Wait, rain showers Saturday?
Yes, not snow.
Oh,
Yeah.
It will be wet.
Matt and I have a wedding we're going to, and this is going to put a cramp in the middle of it.
I hope a certain viewer isn't watching right now because he's not going to be
We'll just get a bunch of umbrellas. It'll be okay.
Do you have like a teepee you could set up?
That's a great idea.
Like a teepee or
I'm gonna
not
Amazon
a teepee.
that. I'm gonna Amazon that right now.
Yeah. What do they call those things? Canopies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
There's 1 day shipping. We'll be okay. Thanks, Dakota. Hello to Wendy. Great to see you as always. We love having our good friend from Celeron here. Hello to Jay. Thanks so much for tuning in. Who else is watching? Sean. Great to see you from Chautauqua Weather today. He says Sunday looks like it'll be a great day to check out the fall colors. Most definitely. Thank you all for tuning in today. We are back tomorrow. News continues 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com and on our mobile app. There's some fall colors over Chautauqua Lake. If you missed anything we talked about, don't worry. You can watch it right here on Facebook Watch. See you tomorrow.